Hi kids, and welcome back to my channel, The Literary Lounge. So today I have brought for you a critical analysis of the poem My Mother at 66 by Kamala, which I had promised earlier. I have already given you an explanation of the entire poem. So let's begin quickly because I tend to keep this video very short. So My Mother at 66 is, a very poignant poem by Kamala, which deals with the themes of aging, right? A person's love for a mother, okay? So it can be anyone, a daughter, a son, anyone. Separation, right? Because your parents, naturally they grow old and they die. Uncertainty and death. So it is a very sensory and deeply sensitive poem. This poem, My Mother is 66, and it is written in the first person narrative. It is confessional that captures the reader's attention and provides, a glimpse of the subtle intricacies of a child's relationship with his or her parents. In this poem, especially a mother's relationship with her daughter. And this poem captures the speaker's train of thought, right? And the entire poem is written in the form of a single sentence. It seems like as if it's a conversation is going on. It is conversational. My mother at 66 has a gloomy, somber, very serious, and an almost detached tone. Okay? It makes use of a natural, unaffected rhythm. The rhythm is very continuous, striking imagery, and a sense of movement to convey the insecurities and apprehensions of the poet persona here, Kamala Das or Madhavi Kuti, about a rapidly aging mother. Now this is something which is common to all of us, okay? And then the inevitable separation that must follow. So, no matter what, how much money you have, no matter how much powerful you are, how advanced the technology is, people will die. They keep dying, right? Because, we are mortal beings, okay? So, dealing with the theme of aging, love, loss, and separation, this poem is something that remains with the reader long after it has been read. Now, this confessional poem is as intense in its feeling as it is subtle in its approach. The poem engages with a wide plethora of mingled emotions ranging from love, pain, nostalgia, sadness, and also despair. Furthermore, action and emotion are beautifully amalgamated, intertwined. They are joined together in this poem. The idea of movement is central to understanding the poem. Okay, the physical movement to the airport when she is going to the airport with her mother, the poet. Okay, the emotional journey of the poet and the movement of a mother towards old age are all intermingled in this poem about love, longing, and then separation. Now, notice the very first word of the poem is a verb for movement in the present continuous tense. That is driving. Driving is the present continuous tense from my parents' home. The poet was driving from her parents' house to Cochin airport the previous Friday. Okay, while inside the car, she happens to see her mother beside her doze off. तो थोड़ी देर को उनकी आंख लग जाती है, झपकी ले लेती हैं वो. Now this striking image of a woman weakened by age dozing off with her mouth open, क्योंकि वो वीक हो गई हैं, कमजोर हो गई हैं, राइट? तो वो डोज कर रही हैं, and her mouth is open. And it leaves a very strong impression on the speaker who feels that her mother's face resembles the pale face of a dead body, like that of a corpse, if you remember that line. The thought of a mother rapidly advancing towards death, right, quite like them in the car at that moment, deeply disturbs her, deeply disturbs the poet, and then she attempts to put the thought away. She decides to, deviate her thoughts, and she starts looking out. She looks out of the window where she sees what? Young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. So this transition from the stillness of the dozing mother to the frivolity, casualness, and movement of youth through a single glance is amazingly, it is awesome, it is superb, simply remarkable. The literary device of contrast is used to bring out the distinctive features of the two different worlds. There are two different worlds separated by a window pane. You see the beauty. The world inside the car and the world outside the car, and the vast contrast, the difference. Okay? One with the infirmity of old age, and the other tinted with the frolic of youth, the frivolous nature of youth. The device of personification used to describe the sprinting outside. They are likened to children, young trees sprinting, while describing their apparent movement as seen from inside the car. The merry children, on the other hand, are said to be spilling out of their homes, thus providing a fluid nature to their happy movement. The literary device used in this case describes the human subject, okay, the children, in terms of an inanimate object. Such a technique is known as chromomorphism, which I will explain in a short later on, and can be understood as being opposite of personification. Okay, so I mean, this is something which is not in your syllabus, but here I wanted to, tell you about this. So I mean, here it was. The movement of the trees and children is in sharp contrast to the dozing posture of a mother. Now, when the speaker looks at a mother standing a few yards from her at the airport security check, the mother's face is described by the simple, wan, pale as late winter's moon. So, the poet here has employed brilliant imagery of the winter moon, right, which is used in this part of the poem. Winter is used to, instill or evoke a sense of an ending, like the aging mother, right? She's about to die in a few days. She has, gotten very old. A certain frigid, inert state without movement, okay, stillness, like that of a corpse, and the inevitable darkness, that is death, okay, which will follow suit. Also, moon has stereotypically received a feminine treatment, and the simile as a pale moon is quite apt to describe the round, pale face of the aged mother. You see the beauty, the striking imagery here. On seeing a mother, the poet persona experiences that familiar old ache, my childhood fear, the childhood fear of losing a mother. Though she doesn't specifically state what it actually is, we can, infer that it is the fear of losing her mother, because it is natural to all of us, to all the children who have this fear of losing their parents. At the last, despite being deeply thoughtful of a mother's present and future, the poet can neither stop, the speaker here or the poet can neither stop herself from going away from her mother, nor can she stop her mother from going away from her forever. Because things, tend to happen. She has to go back, she has to look after her work. She wants to stay, but she cannot. Okay? She wants to. She loves her mother. But there are other things calling out for her, and she has to go back. All she can do is part with a very deep hope of seeing her mother again. She is extremely hopeful. Okay? The parting is made all the more deep and poignant by the fact that though she hopes to see her mother, she fears that she might not. It's a 50-50 possibility. Maybe she will see her again if she lives, or maybe she will die, right? This intermingling of emotions of love, hope, longing, nostalgia, fear, and a sense of helplessness at the face of the inevitable, right, seems to find its way in the repetition of the final words of the poem. All I did was smile and smile and smile. What an awesome conclusive line. But it gives the readers and even the poet great hope that she is going to likely see her mother very soon again. So this was a critical appreciation of the poem. I hope you liked it. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel. Please share it with your friends. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.